Yeah. How about now? Okay, so now that we got all that worked out, I wasn't even looking. Heck. Um, as I was stating before, give me a moment to just breathe. There are a lot of times in our life where we just need to take just a moment to breathe. And of course, I say that with all sincerity, but it's totally correct as well. It gets overlooked because a lot of times we don't take that moment and we act in the moment. And that brings up actions and words and feelings that we don't necessarily agree with, that we don't necessarily believe in. So taking that moment to just breathe, whatever the situation may be, even if a situation is inevitable, still being able to take that moment and think to yourself, what is it that I need to know for this moment in time right now? What is it that's going to make not only this situation but situations that will stem from that better for all parties involved. Or as I say, make things better for the betterment of humanity. What can we do? What can we say? There's a transition time there for that. And though we don't want to pause too long, we also want to be aware. Aware of that which is going on. Sometimes we can get caught up in our pause. Which then makes us not aware. So as you pause and breathe through your situations, remember to be mindful. Remember to hold yourself in a state of awareness. One that acknowledges that there is something going on right now that needs my attention. But because that attention is going on now, that situation is going on now, I need to just take a moment. So take that moment, live into it, and make it the best that you can make it. Because that's all that you can do. So, with that, we shall chat and hang out and listen to some music and maybe if there's anybody in here that wants to have a reading done, we'll do a reading. Anyway, we are blessed to have you here tonight. So, strike it up, invite your people in, and let's get going. If you know of anyone that would like to have a reading done or just would want to join in the discussion, today we're talking about taking a moment to pause in whatever situation they're in. So, I do see Godly Aura. And I think I know this individual. So thank you for coming in and joining in with us. It looks like you are at the moment. But hey, you know, they filter in and out. I had some technical issues earlier, and otherwise I would have been on sooner, but I had some technical issues, so I got on a little bit later. So I'm not up in the algorithm right now, so my time here in getting some people in. But sometimes they go ahead and trickle in. Other times they don't. It's kind of a hit and miss thing. Given that it's kind of early in the month, I'm kind of hoping that maybe there'll be some come in. Just because that's kind of how that goes. So, I mean, you never do know. Would you want a reading? I know you said something about it earlier when we had talked. Okay. What kind of reading would you like to have? I can do just a general reading. I can do relationships. I can do career. Uh, uh, one of those three. It'll be a 3-card reading. Alright. Can do that. Gentle. Just get the gentle rating. Gentle rating. Alright, but 3 numbers between 1 and 78, please. Alright, now listen. three numbers between 1 and 78. All right. Give me just a moment here. I gotta see something. This is really high. Still really high. Okay. Godly Aura has selected 3 numbers. There we are. There we are. So we have shuffled and we've cut the deck. The first card is card 6. 1, 2, 3. Well, card 3 is on the end. 4, 5. 5's in the middle. 6 is on the first. This is interesting, just right off the bat. Like, no kidding. And you don't got to be sorry for being new at this. It's all cool. We're all just a bunch of novices in the game of life. So, we're liking the House of Wands right now. Which means that there's... You got some thematic stuff going on. So just in general, on in a reading with wands, we're talking about a situation or even a person that loves physical action, are very forward moving, and they have a love for challenges. The first card in this reading is the Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands suggests that the stumbling blocks which you ran into on the way to the point of where you are now are being removed one by one. Your goals that you have set for yourself are coming into view. You're encouraged to keep working toward them with enthusiasm. And I will get to that part here in a second, because there's just some other stuff in that in and of itself. No, actually, I don't see anything. Okay, first off, there is nothing inherently bad about tarot. There are situations in which cause a pause for thought, but not anything necessarily bad. Like, we could have the Death card come up, for instance, but that doesn't mean that anyone's going to die. Generally, let me turn that down. Generally, the Death card signifies change. Okay? So, don't be afraid, okay? There's always been the stigma of negative behind this, and I'm here to tell you it's just not true, It's not. I wish people were more educated on it, but obviously that's a long shot, right? Your next card. So we was on this one. Now we're on this one. This one is in the position of the past. This is the present. This is the future. It's not quite a past, present, future reading whenever I do it, but you will get the point. In fact, I need to move this dude so I can do... Yeah. Now. Your next card, this card, that card, yeah, that one right there, is the Five of Wands. Now, the Five of Wands indicates a lot of ideas or people or task are getting in the way and are all battling for your attention. So ideas, people, or tasks are making it difficult for you to move forward, to be the person that you're meant to be, to accomplish the goals you are meant to accomplish that's talked about in the Eight of Wands. The Five of Wands talks about there being a lot of drama surrounding one's situation. And in some ways, it looks and feels like a dogfight. So let me go to the last card in this, and then I will bring this all together. The last card is the Page of Wands. Wands signifies good news coming in, the start of something new with a new perspective. One may feel like a student, but don't fear, because things are looking up. So that card is in the future position. So what do we get whenever we put all of this together? Seeing the Eight of Wands come up, what I see here is that there's a really specific goal that you have in mind. Something really specific that you are wanting to accomplish in your life that is for your highest good, and that is for the betterment of humanity. And it's almost like we're getting mixed messages here, right? Because in the Eight of Wands, we're being told that the stumbling blocks that we had are being removed. But yet in the Five of Wands, told, not yet. Just hold on a second there. There's a few more stumbling blocks on the way. And that's exactly it. The Eight of Wands tells us that those stumbling blocks are being removed. That our goal is in sight. And not to be discouraged. But the Five of Wands reminds us that there are still going to be along the way situations where one just can't. They can't deal with that moment. And they may feel like they're in this dogfight. But then the Page of Wands comes around. And the Page of Wands reminds us that as long as we keep going and we keep striving for our goal, then we can move forward. It reminds us that we go through these situations so that as we move through and to our goal, we gain a new and better perspective. I'm reminded of the Two of Wands as I'm looking at the page here. And the Two of Wands is a man that's standing on his balcony and he's looking out over the rail and he's watching his ships come in. And there are the wands beside him, not necessarily paying any attention to them. And his mind is on his goal. The Page of Wands, though, has a different perspective. The Page of Wands perhaps is actually seeing the wand for the first time. Oh yeah, he's had the opportunity, and he's used the wand, but now he's looking at it. He's quite visualizing the wand, studying it, if you will, becoming a student of the wand. Now, some would say with 3 wands in a reading that there could be an indication for travel soon. Specifically, travel overseas. I don't know if that necessarily rings true for you. With so many wands, travel is usually a thing. And I'm not certain that rings true for you. But either way, take the moment and live it. Because it's going to be yours to live. So, that's what I got for you, Godly Aura. Oops. Wrong thing. Well, get where it's confusing. I tell you one thing. There's a certain level of difficulty whenever it comes to doing a reading, say, online like this over video, and it's better. Readings are almost always better in person. But that doesn't necessarily make readings through something like this any less true. It's just a little bit more difficult to understand the concepts like that, you know, in that kind of way. So, I mean, most certainly, thanks for coming in. Sweet but Psycho Luna, hello, how are you? How you doing? Hello, hello. How's everyone doing? What about your love connection? Ah, that's wonderful. Okay, we can definitely do that for you, Luna. So, I am doing well. I am doing well. Well, for what it is, I'm doing well. Luna, bear with me momentarily as I get my deck ready to do your reading. Okay, Aura. I'll see you later. Okay, or Luna. Okay, so you're not doing a reading then, or you do want? Okay, all right, good. Luna, I need three numbers. The first one I need between 1 and 16. The second one I need between 1 and 22. And the third one I need between 1 and 40. If you could get those for me, please, that would be wonderful. 1 and 16, 1 and 22, and 1 and 40. I'll put that into the chat so that you know what I need. Luna has said 3, 21, and 27. Excuse me. Just about said 17. That wouldn't have been right. 3, 21, and 27. The decks have been shuffled. The decks have been shuffled. We are now going to cut the first deck. 1, 2, 3 is the first card. This deck also has been shuffled. We are now going to cut the second deck. And this is 21. Okay, so 22, 21. See, that was easy. And this deck also has been shuffled, and we cut it. And 27. And I'm sorry, Luna, for the delay and the choppiness of the video. We will go with this as smoothly and quickly as possible. Every time. So this is a spread that I came up with. What it is it separates out the three main parts of the deck: the major arcana, the court cards, and the lower cards of the minor arcana. So we start with the court cards. This could signify a person. It could also signify a situation. Just depends upon how the reading, how they all connect. So bear with me as I get into the general part of reading this, and then I will get into more of the detail of what I'm seeing here. The King of Wands does suggest a person. They are rather energetic, enthusiastic, fiery, dynamic, and passionate. They like action and travel and physical activity. So I'm not sure if that describes either you or the other person. But that's where this is putting an individual concerning this particular relationship. So let me go to my next four. The next card, which is the Emperor. This is from the Major Arcana. This kind of gives us a stage. Gives us a stage of the relationship. The Emperor could suggest a partner or ex that is currently rendering one powerless. This could be through lust, so we're looking at a situation here where one may feel kind of in desperation, overpowered, not heard. That doesn't mean that the relationship's in a negative spot. It just means that there are so the last card is the Seven of is the Seven. Yeah. The last card is the Seven of Wands. It's a very wandy type of knight, apparently. So the Seven of Wands in a love relationship reading says that this is a challenging relationship. Both parties have opposite goals, which causes tension. This is not an end time in the relationship, so don't give up. Be true to oneself. So, I'm feeling some tension here. I'm feeling this sense of wanting to speak up, wanting to be myself, but at the same time, due to the circumstances at hand, me, it's not possible. And that could be because of the individual, the King of Wands here. Or maybe you're the King of Wands. Maybe your personality fits this of the King of Wands, where you're the one that's wanting to do things, but because the other person has some domination and control, you don't feel as though you can. It feels like a very difficult situation. Like, you want to stay, but you're just not sure. You're not sure about staying. It kind of feels like a drag. It feels like that the things aren't moving in the direction that you were hoping for them to move. I could be wrong here. This is the story that I'm picking up. And if it's not your story, I am sorry. But this is where we've been led. Okay. I think the moral of this particular thought is don't give up. Not just that. Don't give up being you. For in your being you is total oneness of self. And that's what we need most, is to be one with ourself. Because if we can't be one with ourselves, then how can we be one with those who are in relation with us? So I hoped and I hope that it gives you some kind of direction for whatever may come about next. Thank you, Luna. It was a pleasure reading you. If anyone would like to leave a tip, there is a link in the description. You just click on the link down there. It says tip. If I don't have a thing that says tip and then the link, then in the link it will say tip. Just click on that and it will take you to my tipping page. And I will be very, very grateful. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Oh my good Lord. I hadn't fixed all that. You are you're very welcome, Luna. Sebastian, if you could please shorten your question. Sebastian wants to know what's going on with the relationship between, Sebastian, I'm sorry, I'm using your screen name, so you'll have to forgive me. Between them and this other individual. So we can... Okay. Alright. Sebastian, if you could, give me 3 numbers. I need one between 1 and 16. Another between 1 and 22. And the third one between 1 and 40. Please and thank you. And again, if there's anyone that would like to leave a tip, there's a link in the description down below. Just click on that link. In the link it says tip in there somewhere, or I have it listed. I don't know, I hadn't looked at it in a little bit. But yeah, just click on that. It'll take you to my tipping page, and you'll see everything you need there. 2, 21, and 32. Thank you, Sebastian. Bear with me just a moment as I get the cards shuffled, and then we'll cut and place the cards. So relationship readings, I do my own little twist on those. For those that don't know, what I do is I break the deck down into 3 basic parts. I have the court cards in one stack here. These cards have been shuffled. I am cutting them now, and we are drawing to card number 2 from the top. 1, 2. Then this deck, this is the Major Arcana. Those cards have been shuffled. We're going to cut that deck as well. 21. 21. And then this is the lower 40 of the Minor Arcana. So everything that's not a court card is in this deck. That's not a court card or Major Arcana card is in this deck. The cards have been shuffled. We'll give the cards a cut and draw from the top to 32. Actually, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36. 5, 4, 3, 32. Okay. All right, Sebastian. Here are your cards. We have the Queen of Swords, the Chariot, and the Seven of Swords. Well, we got a little bit of a theme going on here, don't we? Swords! Boy! Woo-woo! Is there someone coming towards me in love? Sunblood, I will see if we can answer that. Let me get done with Sebastian real quick. Okay, so the first card is the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords indicates a person that needs an intellectual match. They offer sound advice and can be rational, focused, and disciplined in work projects. They won't rush into love. So they don't rush into love. One may need to exercise caution entering into relationships. Reminds us to listen to our partners and let go of the past. Tame the mind. I put a big thing there on tame the mind. In other words, be mindful. Okay? Just because you want something doesn't necessarily mean that that person wants something. The next, the Chariot. Number 7. The Chariot talks about reconciling opposing forces for a successful relationship. Painful emotions rule or dominate themselves. So to learn spiritual lessons. So just because there's this thought in your mind of how things should go or should be going, doesn't necessarily mean that it is the path that we need to be on. We don't need to get too into our emotions whenever we come into this relationship. Yeah, Sebastian. Yeah, I would say that that's kind of where this might be. Let me look at this last one, because I do like to kind of get into the general idea of what the cards are, and then I will kind of do more of an interpretation after that. Okay. So the last card is the Seven of Swords. That indicates that there may be interference in the relationship. There could be another party involved, but not necessarily an affair. So that could be somebody saying, hey, look, do you really think that this is what needs to be happening? Or, so on. There may be is a possibility, some envy or jealousy and judgment, which could be coming from others. Which is what I was saying just a second ago. There could be this viewpoint from others. Yeah. That's a possibility, Seb. I tell you. So, I mean, I don't know exactly what to tell you on that one. Apparently, dude is married, so I mean, is it something that you're looking for a romantic thing with him, or, I mean, what's up? Because that's what's kind of looking like this is. I think the friendship part of it is great, is fine. But if there's any desire to want anything more than that, then I'm not sure. And then even if that's not the case, and you are strictly wanting to be friends, then what this may actually be boiling down to is that I don't think so. I think there is I think there's more at play on the side of being with his wife than what he necessarily can let on. I think that there's something there for him as far as his wife goes, or what have you, that he probably just doesn't feel quite right about it after whatever. And I mean, you know, the thing is anything could have happened, right? But it's not up to us to be able to, or to sit here and say, but I wanted this to happen, or I wanted that to happen, or, because that is getting into I, me mentality. That's not getting into what's best for my highest good and for the betterment of humanity, which is what I preach on here, like, all the time. And so we have to really watch our own desires when it comes to situations like this. It's a very particular situation, and very peculiar situation. Thanks, Seb. I have sung in the past. Okay. Well, folks, I think I had one other person. If that person is still on the chat, please make yourself known. And we will do that, and then that is going to be the last one that I take for tonight, because quite frankly, I am tired, and y'all see what time it is. So you're welcome, Sebastian. If you would, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. That'd help me out greatly. I also got a tip page that you can go to in the link that out over there. Be more than happy to have you. Hello. Priyanka. Hello, Priyanka. Apparently, the other individual that requested a reading is not in at the moment. So, unfortunately, they're not going to get a reading done. But I will be more than happy to do one more reading. Priyanka, are you looking to have a reading done? Thank you. Thank you. Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, you most certainly may. You most certainly may. General love or career? Okay. Well, we can check and see what you need to know about the relationship. Most certainly. Hang on here while I want to put something up here, so give me just a second. Nope. Cancel. Pre-rank, I need 3 numbers. First one I need between 1 and 16. The second one between 1 and 22. And the third one between 1 and 40. The second number needs to be between 1 and 22. So, the first deck has been shuffled. We are going to go ahead and cut that now. Pre-ranka says card 15, so there's card 16. Right, there's card 15. I'll wait for the second deck. The third deck has already been shuffled right there, and there is the cut. Set 33. Alright, in the middle deck, that deck has also been shuffled, and we're going to go ahead and cut that, and it is 19. 22, 20, 22, 21, 20, 19. Honey, darling, dear. I don't want you to get all scared when this comes up. Okay? I promise it's not a bad thing. It's just lessons that we need to learn. So the Page of Cups, not too bad. The Devil, it's a little scary, but it's not really. And the Three of Swords, it's a little scary, but it's not. Let's get into it. We'll do the general gist of the idea, and then I'll give you my interpretation. So, the first card is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups suggests an offer of love will soon be made. New love. A new offer could be coming in soon. So, this is suggesting not only an offer of love, but a new love. A love that you hadn't known before. A love interest you haven't known before. Of course, then this could also mean the coming of a child. But I don't feel that. So let's stick with an offering of love, whether it's new or not so new. So the next card is the Devil. And by golly, the devil is in the details. In other decks, this is known as the Shadow. So it doesn't really have like that negative connotation to it. I like to think of it as the Shadow, as the representation of our shadow selves, our negative happenings. It could be someone new, but if you don't know what S's feelings are, and that's what you're trying to find out, because this is the first time that you've ever potentially had this kind of relation with S, then that would be a new love as well. So it's kind of a, I know it sounds vague, but really it's more what you make it here. The Devil in a love relationship reading says that there is a power play in process, and one is not winning. Things like lust, control, or are overriding that which is keeping one from winning. Also suggests that there are old karmic attachments which could be harming one. So what I like, how I like to look at this is, I don't even look at the devil of the picture. I look at the man and the woman. And I look at how easily they could escape of their, for a lack of better term, desire. They stay, and they're blinded by the ease of being able to leave. So there may be things here that you yourself need to work on to be able to move forward and accept whether or not this is going to be the kind of relationship you're looking for. Now, all in all, that's not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. It just means that we need to bring ourselves to just a bit higher of a plane than where we are now. The next card in this is the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords really has some symbolism in here that seems like it could be rather tragic. And most certainly it can be. It reminds us to be aware of the potential for loss and disappointment. But also to remember that sometimes our biggest heartbreaks lead to our greatest loves. The pain will pass. Die into your courage. Okay? So, do I necessarily see something here with S? According to your cards, I couldn't say that I do. I couldn't say that I see anything romantically profitable from continuing a pursuit of S. It's not to say to give up. But more, take this time and opportunity to better yourself as an individual. And then when the time comes, if he actually, or S actually is the one, then it'll be fine. It'll be the way that it was meant to be. Maybe not the way that you wanted it to be. Because we all want it right now, right? But it'll be the way that it was meant to be. Had arguments in the past. I see. I think there may be some stuff that may need to be let go. That there's still some hurt to deal with here. Still some pain to process. Allow yourself to move through that so that you can be your best self. I thank you, it was a pleasure reading for you. If you would like to send a tip, there is a link down in the description. It would be most appreciated. Well, don't we feel accomplished tonight? Bear with me just a second here. I need to... Don't we feel accomplished tonight? We had some good readings. We introduced someone to the art of tarot. And we had some good conversation. Kind of, I guess. I tell you, all in all, it's practically just worth it to give people the opportunity to at least be heard. And then, if not be heard, be seen and be acknowledged. And give them the time and love and patience for them to think through their situations. Because sometimes we just need to breathe. So again, I think everyone that was involved today, and we have been here for just over 2 hours, and I am dog tired. I will try to get on sooner tomorrow. 'cause well, it's the weekend, and it's the weekend that I'm going to be able to do the show. So hopefully, I'll be on tomorrow, and maybe, hopefully, the internet will work with us. So I thank everyone, and just remember to do what's best for your highest good and for the betterment of humanity. Peace and the light of love to you and yours. I'm Stefan Seamus, Guide of the Light. Good night.